What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. Today we are gonna take a look at Death Stranding 2 Sam from Hot Toys, and you can pre-order this figure, the non-deluxe, non-artisan version, at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below once it's available. Okay, let me start off by saying I love Hideo Kojima. Love him. Love Metal Gear series. That was my best game ever. Metal Gear 1 until Last of Us came. Before Last of Us, 2013, the story was compelling for Metal Gear 1. Metal Gear 2 as well, then 3. I love every Metal Gear series. I know he did other video games like Zone of the End or something like that. That never really captivated me. Just Metal Gear. Just the Metal Gear series in it by itself. For me, Kojima was kind of like Christopher Nolan. You know, outside of Christopher Nolan made more good movies than the Dark Knight trilogy, but the Dark Knight trilogy ignited my love for 1/6 collecting. Metal Gear, when I was younger, and PS1, that ignited my... I viewed video game totally different after that. Like, it's more of a cinema. With that being said, I was excited when it was announced that Death Stranding 1 was being made, because I never really liked Zone of the Enders, like I said. But Norman Reedus, I think Death Stranding 1, there was still some hype, because it was on PS4 around Walking Dead at that point, and getting Norman Reedus to start on a video game was just, all right, here we go. So I actually ordered that was on clearance, the special edition video game for Death Stranding 1. So I got the little baby with his attached case and all that stuff. So I played the game on PS4. Never really liked it. Again, I love Hideo Kojima. Never liked the game. It felt repetitive. Just wasn't drawn into it. I understand what he's trying to do here. Just never felt like it's more of a task to play the game than me being involved in it. Like, even if the game is hard, there are certain times I've played plenty of hard games, and I repeatedly play games in a hard mode because I like the payoff. It feels like after playing I think I played 4 hours of Death Stranding, I never really got any sort of enjoyment or anything about it. So with this figure, as good as it looks, I'm not that compelled to get it. I will get it. Just this. I think I've said this in Bank Robber Joker version. And I think I already said this in the Joaquin Phoenix version. Hot Toys hair sculpt has evolved so much that it looks amazing. You could get away with proper lighting so it doesn't give you that shine, doesn't make it look like a figure, but it is phenomenal. Of course the artisan version would be better because it's also more expensive, but their version of the sculpted is no slouch. It looks terrific. Look at this. I recently got Dexter from Flashback, and I know we shouldn't be comparing Flashback toys to Hot Toys, but that is a perfect example of a figure that looks like it came out really in Flashback, like in 2016 or 17. The strands of the hair here look so natural that the only thing that you have is the shine. I hope they, a little bit of matte would have been nice in here, coating as far as paint. As far as the figure itself, he looks great. Just the visual of this guy, just looking at him with all the gears and all that stuff. Even if you didn't play the game, I heard that Death Stranding 2 is a lot better than Death Stranding 1. So I'll give him that. I might play Death Stranding 2 again. I'm not going back to 1, and I might give it a try once it goes down in price. I'm not going to buy it for the retail right now. But I heard good things about Death Stranding 2. And I like the look of the figure enough for me to buy I would even buy the deluxe version, but not the artisan version. I would say that I'm not gonna spend $500 or $600 for an IP that I would just play. This opens the door, though. I don't know if it does. for Hot Toys to kind of tackle The Walking Dead, because this head sculpt looks phenomenal for Norman Reedus. I don't know if the license of The Walking Dead is up in the air. I can imagine if they wanted to, they could probably acquire it, because let's be honest, they got Star Wars, Marvel. Those are the hard licenses to have. 3-0 got the license for The Walking Dead at some point, so you know, I can imagine it's not a hard one to get. I guess the question is, would they want to, because that series is kind of dead. But at the same time, do you really want to waste this beautiful head sculpt just doing one figure of Sam in Death Stranding 2, while all you gotta do is throw in a body, you know, have some biker clothing in there, and now you have Daryl Dixon. Maybe just do his show, Daryl Dixon, not the entire Walking Dead ensemble, just Daryl Dixon, just so you could, you know, you can use this head sculpt. Now, if you are into, you know, that game as well, I mean, that if you want to kit bash your own Daryl Dixon, this might be a good way. You know, you get the artisan version, because his hair is so iconic. Norman Reedus, like this flowy hair, that it is perfect for rooted hair. Now, would it come out like this? I sure do hope so. Would it come out like this styled? That's the hit or miss. But this is a Hot Toys. Artisan are always hard to get, as we know. So is this as popular as other artisan versions? We know that there's a queue and all that stuff. I guess we'll find out. Maybe I'm the only one who didn't really enjoy Death Stranding. I know in the gaming community, because I'm still kind of active to that, not posting but reading, I know a lot of people didn't react as, you know, kindly to Death Stranding 1, but 2 seems more positive. I don't know if that's really going to translate though to buying a almost $550 to $600 figure. We shall see. But one option you could do is buy the, you know, just the artisan version if you can get one. Get the head sculpt, kit bash your own Daryl Dixon, you know, use the 3-0 clothing, body, whatever, and then get the regular version, use the sculpted for this body, or maybe just buy a separate head sculpt on eBay, and you got 2 Norman Reedus figure, you know. But let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the game? If you have played Death Stranding 2, do you recommend it? Because I will play it, just not now. I'm not gonna pay $70 for it. Are you gonna buy the artisan or the regular version, or are you even gonna consider to buy this figure at all? I must admit, like the design of this guy looks phenomenal. Can he stand on his own with all that gear and backpack and all? Because on the game he always falls over too. Who knows? But I would love to hear your thoughts regarding this figure. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I'd really appreciate it. Like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.